listening to The Bullet, a Revolver Magazine podcast. Hi, you're listening to The Bullet, a Revista Revolver podcast recorded in Estudio Infrasondido. I'm Sean, and we're here with Franco-Chilean singer-songwriter Tito Escribar and Chilean guitarist Jaime Medel. Also from Revolver staff, there's Suzanne from Germany, Trinidad from Chile, and Rich from Britain. And we are going to hear a few songs from Tito Escribar and Jaime. Everybody say hi and welcome the listeners.
Hi.
Hi everyone.
Hola, hola a todos. Hello.
All right.
From
You guys are...
Serge Gainsbourg, Sally Cradway.
Ouais, je t'emmènerai sur le Scenic Railway. Si c'est ce que tu veux, c'est facile. Ouais, je t'emmènerai sur le Scenic Railway. On verra ça demain. C'est promis. Je t'y retrouverai comme je te veux, cruelle, accroché à mon bras par tes ondes blessées. Ouais, je t'emmènerai sur le Scenic Railway. Tu n'as que ça en tête. C'est terrible. Ouais, je t'emmènerai sur le Scenic Railway. Et cesse de bouder, c'est promis. Ouais, je t'emmènerai sur le Scenic Railway. Mais ces émotions-là, c'est facile. Je t'y retrouverai quelque peu inconsciente, car tout ce qu'aimer veut dire, le sauras-tu un jour. Ouais, je t'emmènerai sur le Scenic Railway. Mais y a pas que les machines pour s'envoyer en l'air. Y a pas que les machines pour s'envoyer en l'air. Y a pas que les machines pour s'envoyer en l'air. This is Zelig à la French.
Great. So that's a Serge Gainsbourg song?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one of our favorite singer, maybe a kind of a mentor for us, because we met with Jaime, with a Chilean musician that introduced both of us, who is Claudio Narea. And then he is a huge fan of Serge Gainsbourg.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he always talk about him, and we were about to do something, and we talk about this singer and this great musician who was Serge Gainsbourg, and this is one of his old songs.
Oh, okay.
Of his first song from maybe the 60s, the beginning of the 60s. And that is the purpose of our show that we are making now, that is called Zelig à la French. We are making it in jazz clubs. The idea is that we want to make to to present some songs of French musicians that were all authors, and when after the Second World War, during the liberation of France, they also discovered the jazz, and they take this jazz and they make as a French jazz. We can say it's kind of French jazz, yes. Okay. And they make their words with this jazz that was coming from the States.
Okay. Now, you grew up in France, so you've got a huge musical influence from France as well as Chilean. And you've been singing for how long now?
Oh, I think, I grew up in the theaters, in the musician, with artists, since I was 5.
Oh, wow.
I remember that at 5 years old, it was my first show. With I don't remember if he was English or Australian. His name is Steve Waring. He was a musician and he made songs for children. And he had a show, and then he needed a boy for his show. And I was chosen to make this show with him. At 5, I think.
Okay. You said at 5 years old, you?
Yes.
Wait, yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's incredible.
I born in a musician family, or in an artist family. My mother was an actress and also singer, musician. All my family.
Yeah.
As I remember, all my life I had musician and music every time at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so you were performing a lot in France and in Europe, and have been performing in Chile for 3 years now. How many years?
Yes, 3 years here in Chile, and that's where I met this great musician that is Jaime, who is Jaime Medel. He's he learned music. He's a student of the music, I think. I don't want to talk for him. Maybe he can say something in Spanish. We have a translator.
Absolutely.
Here. So
yeah.
Maybe he can say a few words about his history.
Para su historia, para la historia de música, y nosotros traducimos.
Ah, ya. Yeah. Bueno, mi familia no tiene que ver mucho con la familia del Tito porque mi papá es marino, retirado de la Armada, y entonces no había mucho contacto con la música en mi casa. Yo tampoco, yo de hecho iba a ser futbolista.
Gran futbolista. Gran futbolista.
Nada que ver.
Okay.
So he wanted to be a football player instead of a musician, actually. But it didn't work.
Okay.
Así que mi primer contacto con la música fue escuchando un cover que hizo una banda que se llama Bananarama.
The classic 80s band.
Sí, hizo el cover de Beatles, Help. Y yo lo escuché y al tiro algo ahí me hizo como clic. Entonces pregunté a mi mamá, porque hablaban de los Beatles y yo no sabía qué es lo que eran los Beatles. Y
por Bananarama.
Sí, por Bananarama. Porque en esa época acá estaba el rock en español, el rock estaba, no sé, Soda Stereo.
Sí.
Y todos como que andaban con los pelos pintados y unas ropas medias raras. Y a mí no me gustaba eso mucho.
So he changed his mind after knowing of Bananarama.
Yeah.
And then you started like...
But it was the Beatles cover.
Sí,
that Bananarama did.
This cover.
And that's how you discovered the Beatles, through Bananarama.
So you started investigating.
Brilliant.
Sí.
Yeah.
Y de ahí empecé a investigar más de los Beatles. Grabé algunos cassettes, porque antes no habían CD. Y después pedí una guitarra, empecé a tocar guitarra, a sacar las canciones. Después hice una banda de covers, hacíamos covers de los Beatles. Y de ahí me metí a estudiar. También después de salir del colegio estudié mecánica por inseguridad de estar en la música, porque en Chile la música no es muy bien mirada. Tampoco hay mucho campo para los músicos.
So So after investigating and getting to know the Beatles and all that stuff, you decided that music was your thing. And first you studied mechanics,
Sí,
but then you decided that music was your thing
Sí.
finally.
exactamente. Y después estudié ya música más docta en la Universidad Católica, en Valparaíso. También me abrió la mente haber estudiado esa música. Mozart, Bach, todos los compositores más clásicos y más doctos. Y ver la música de una perspectiva de escritura también, porque yo era puro tocar la guitarra. Entonces, después me vine para acá y conocí a Tito, a Claudio Narea, y me vine con una banda también. Y es difícil la cosa de la música acá en Chile. O sea, eso es lo único que me queda. Pero uno tiene una gran pasión que sí, es como Don Quijote luchando contra los remolinos y todas esas cosas. Es como eso, por lo menos acá en Chile, porque no hay una industria musical como en otros países, no sé, Inglaterra, Estados Unidos.
Como Argentina.
O Argentina, que está más al lado.
Sí, okay.
So finally, after study, you went to study to Universidad Católica
Sí.
at Valparaíso, classical music, and then you came to Santiago and met Claudio Narea and Tito. And even though it's hard,
Very hard.
you like being a musician here in Chile.
Yeah, it's an interesting. It is hard being a musician anywhere, but I think that in Chile, two things happen: is not a lot of the music makes it out of Chile for the language outside of the Latino market, for the English-speaking market, I'd have to say, and also there's a lot of music that just doesn't get past Chile. It stays in Chile, so it's interesting. Okay.
What do
Yeah.
you? Sorry, I just had another
Yeah,
question.
please.
For Tito, what do you know about the French music scene? I mean, for example, the Jaime was saying how it's very difficult to get into the Chilean music scene and get well known.
Well, I think
how does it
there's-
compare to France? Do you know?
I think there's something that is the same in France, comparing with Chile, is that being a musician is not an easy choice. It's not very easy to decide to say, for example, for young people, say to his parents, well, I want to be a musician. It's like the same reaction in France. Well, how are you going to eat with that? What is that? You know? So I think this is this is a travel. Being a musician for me is like being involved in a travel for all your life. In a travel made of good things, made of bad things. It's like life, you know, and it's always initiation, you know. So I think there are something similar in France. The industry in France maybe is different, but what you can hear on French radio today and on Chilean radio, I think it's the same.
Oh, really?
I think it's the same.
Yeah.
It's popular music.
Yeah, true.
If you want to
Yeah.
make pop, it's a choice.
Because they do
Can
it all
be
by
a choice.
ratings. They do it all by charts and ratings now. The
Right.
larger stations. They look at national, international ratings. and they
Maybe the
program
difference
it,
in France
yeah.
is that we have a law in France that all the radios have to have 50% of French music.
Really,
So that helps a lot for the French
and
musician.
that's a
Yeah.
law.
And here in Chile, there's only one radio playing only Chilean music. But this law helps a lot. But there's two phases because it helps, but it also there's another effect because a lot of people start to make all kind of music, you know, from rap to soul to I don't know rock and heavy metal, and you know France is the second country of the rap music after the United
I
States.
didn't know that.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
There you are.
There's a lot of rap music until the 80s. I
Yeah.
remember I have some friends that are now big bands of rap music in France, like I Am, like NTM. Those are big old rap bands. But at the beginning, it was difficult, very difficult, and with this law that I don't remember if it's 6, maybe 7 years ago. With this law, it helps a lot to make the people know. People.
So it's only 6 or 7 years old. This
yes,
law.
It's not so
interesting.
old.
Okay,
yes, it's not so old.
Okay, and the radio station that plays just Chilean music is only about a year old. What is it, Radio?
Here, yes, it's Radio Uno.
Radio Uno, okay.
Yes, 97.1. And there is only Chilean music.
Yeah,
so that's a choice. But
people who do
if you
original
think
music.
that in all the radios here in Chile, you can hear more music from everywhere than Chilean music.
And on The Bullet, a Revista Revolver podcast.
Yes, of course. Now we have that, of course. This is a great opportunity for us.
I'd like you to actually comment about there are so many musicians that I've noticed coming back from other countries, returning to Chile to live. Do you see that as influencing the Chilean music scene right now?
I don't know if the influence is now, but I think there were. For example, you take Inti Limani. It's an historical band of Chilean music. Yeah. They have been in Italy, and they have, for example, some music coming from Italy. So they all travel and they all bring music. All the musicians traveling brings back music from everywhere. So I think yes, there's influence. Yes.
Okay.
And Chile is a very open-minded country. Chilean people like to hear music and every kind of things about other countries. So I think yes.
Okay.
It's important.
Great.
We have here in Chile, for example, a phenomenon of the tribute bands. That's amazing here in Chile. I think it's very particular here, and I think that begins with the act that it wasn't so easy to have those bands here. For example, to have U2, to have Led Zeppelin, to have
So you're making a comment on the fact that there were very few bands that actually could either afford to get to Chile or chose to come to Chile because it was so remote. That's changing now, but in years past, the only way people would be able to hear live music of their favorite popular bands were through cover bands, and thus the culture has really, really become strong in Chile. Really strong.
It's a phenomenon, isn't it?
It's impressive.
Like you look at AC/DC aren't even coming here because they can't. I think they can't fit in the stadium, or they can't afford to pay for the stadium, or something like that. And so, one of my Chilean friends was just saying, like, what would you rather? Would you rather not see AC/DC or see a tribute to AC/DC? Like, she knows which one she would choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess maybe it's been born out.
You have the Beatles, a band, a tribute band of the Beatles. The Beats, you have several bands, making the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. That's
Led Zeppelin.
Yes, Led Zeppelin. Well, Jaime was one of the members of Moby Dick. That was a tribute band of Led Zeppelin.
Oh, really?
And a lot of people, appreciated their covers. That sometimes, I heard some people say that sometimes it's better than the original. And with a woman, Roxana Pardo, she is the singer of Moby Dick, so it's also particular, I think.
Oh, they're still playing Moby Dick in that case.
Now, at this moment, Roxana is mama, is a new mother. So now I think they have a little break, and I don't know. This is Jaime's actuality.
Can we hear a few more songs?
Yes, I want to sing something to illustrate that time when French singers, because in France, in the French music, the letters, the words are very important. So they take this jazz music coming from the States with the GIs, with the boys after the Second World War, and they made some tributes also of the musician, and that's why I'm talking about this in Chile, but in France it was the same. And there's a song coming from the traditional music of United States, Let My People Know, black music, the letters are from Claude Nougaro, he was a singer, so we are going to make Armstrong. It's a tribute to Louis Armstrong with an old American music, inspired on Let My People Know, Armstrong.
Okay.
Armstrong, je ne suis pas noir, je suis blanc de peau. Et quand on veut chanter l'espoir, quel manque de peau. Oui, j'ai beau voir le ciel, l'oiseau, rien, rien, rien de lui là-haut, les anges, zéro, je suis blanc de peau. Armstrong, tu te fends la poire, on voit toutes tes dents. Moi, je bois plutôt du noir en dedans. Alléluia, chante pour moi, chante, 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 ça tient chaud, j'ai froid. Oh, moi, qui suis blanc de peau, yeah. Armstrong, la vie, quelle histoire, c'est pas très marrant. Et qu'on l'écrive blanc sur noir, ou bien noir sur blanc, on voit surtout du rouge, sans trêve ni repos, qu'on soit, ou ma foi, noir ou blanc de peau. Armstrong, la vie, tôt ou tard, on n'est que des os. Est-ce que les tiens seront noirs? Ce serait rigolo. Alléluia, alléluia. Au-delà de nos oripeaux, noirs et blancs, sont ressemblants, comme deux gouttes d'eau. Yeah.
This is a tribute to Louis Armstrong, the great Louis Armstrong. You know that Louis Armstrong came here in Chile 3 times?
Really?
Yes.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yes. He
Very
really
cool.
enjoyed Chile.
Nice. Very, very cool. And so, what changes in the 3 years that have you seen in the Chilean music scene? Like, there's so many things that have been happening in the last few years. Have you noticed anything that's been going on that catches your attention, or that things that you want to have happen?
Well, I have the impression that here in Chile, but it's only my point of view. I think it's true that being a musician it's not easy, but a lot of musicians are always waiting for help from the state, and so they make projects with this north, if you want. They want to to make some fond art, you know, all this kind of projects. That I think it's a good thing, but what the kind of music that I do, for me, it's studying music. It's always doing music. It's not to do a record. It's not to. It's because I have. It's my life. It's my life. Doing music. It's part of my life. Yeah. But I think there are very good musicians here in Chile, and the problem is that sometimes they cannot project themselves in the music because they think it's too close, you know. But it's like I think I remember an old rap song from the United States, very old, from the Furious Five, and they told only the strong can survive. And I think maybe not the stronger, but the one that believes in what he's doing is going to be happy with what he's doing. Yeah. Whatever, if you're known, if you're famous, if make music is for all life, I think. I don't know, maybe Jaime want to add something. Respecto a los cambios en la música chilena estos últimos años.
Se nota.
¿Cómo ves? Si hay cambios. Si...
Precisamente.
Sí, personalmente.
Sí.
Creo que se ha logrado desde un tiempo hasta acá consolidar algunos artistas. Se han consolidado, no sé, los tres, no sé qué más te podría decir. Hay un par de grupos más que están siempre sonando, Chancho en Piedra. Y creo que sí, los músicos son un poco individualistas, o sea, forman como clanes de músicos. Y si uno no está con ellos, está como, no en contra, pero nos ayudan a los demás músicos emergentes. Creo que ese es un problema en este país. O sea, creo que yo por lo menos trato de ayudar a muchos músicos, porque estoy construyendo un estudio de grabación y cobrando, entre comillas, barato, y a veces no cobrando porque me da lo mismo, porque estoy aprendiendo de eso. Y por lo mismo, porque me sentí súper poco considerado con respecto a los músicos más famosos, que no deberían poner, de alguna forma, tratar de ayudar a algunas personas, ¿cachai? Que están empezando.
Oh, well, he thinks that there are some musicians in Chile that are famous and they're like always on the radios, like Los Tres or Chancho en Piedra. But the problem with Chilean music is that they're kind of selfish. They don't want to open the doors to everyone, so they don't share what they have. And he said that you had an studio?
Sí, de grabación.
So you are trying to do what the other ones are not doing, like helping.
Sí, con lo que pueda.
Cheap. Yeah.
The problem with some Chilean musicians is that even if those famous are not opening the doors, you don't have to be knocking out all your life. Because, for example, in our cases, we are not knocking doors. We are not trying to get in something, because music is part of our lives. Sometimes we have played in big places and little places. This is music. Yeah. I remember this artist Brian Adams. I don't know if you know him. I have been seeing him in big places. But in France, for example, I've seen him in little village with a 50 person hearing his music. Yeah. And maybe the day before he was traveling to New York. Or this is the story of Claudio Narea has in his last album, where Jaime and the Indicados, this band that was playing with Narea, are recorded with him. The name of this record is El Largo Camino al Éxito, the long travel to the success. So I think this is a point of view. It's a long travel. Nice. The music is a long travel.
Let's hear another song along the journey that you've been taking, if you would.
Ok.
¿Cuál?
A ver, que Jaime, lo que quieras tú, ¿qué quieres escuchar?
This is a song from Paris. À Paris. From Yves Montand. À Paris. Quand un amour fleurit, ça fait pendant des semaines de cœurs qui sourient. Tout ça parce qu'ils s'aiment à Paris. Au printemps, sur les toits les girouettes tournent et font les coquettes avec le premier vent qui passe indifférent, nonchalant. Car le vent, quand il vient à Paris, il n'a qu'un seul souci, c'est d'aller musarder dans tous les beaux quartiers de Paris. Le soleil, qui est son vieux copain, est aussi de la fête. Et comme deux collégiens, ils s'en vont en goguette dans Paris. Et la main dans la main, ils s'en vont sans se frapper pour aller voir en chemin si Paris a changé. Il y a toujours des taxis en maraude qui vous prennent en fraude avec le stationnement. Il y a toujours l'agent des taxis. Au café, on voit n'importe qui boit n'importe quoi, qui parle avec ses mains, qui est là depuis le matin. Au café, il y a la scène. À n'importe quelle heure, elle a ses visiteurs qui la regardent dans les yeux, ce sont ses amoureux à la scène. Et il y a ceux qui ont fait leur lit près du lit de la Seine et qui se lavent à midi tous les jours de la semaine à la Seine. Il y a les autres, ceux qui en ont assez parce qu'ils en ont vu trop, et pour tout oublier alors ils étalent. Mais la Seine, elle préfère voir les petits bateaux qui naviguent sur elle, et au fil de son eau qui jouent les caravelles à la Seine. Des ennuis, il y en a pas qu'à Paris, il y en a dans le monde entier. Oui, mais dans le monde entier, il y a pas partout Paris, voilà l'ennui. À Paris, au 14 juillet, on danse et on s'amuse à la lueur des lampions, au son de l'accordéon dans Paris. Depuis qu'à Paris on a pris la Bastille, dans chaque faubourg, à chaque carrefour, il y a des gars et il y a des filles qui tournent et qui tournent et qui tournent et qui tournent dans Paris, à Paris, à Paris.
Thank you.
Very good. So the one thing we didn't talk about is why you came to Chile, why you stayed, and what keeps you here. What are the things that you find precious that keeps you from Paris?
Because Paris will be always in Paris. Always Paris, it's okay. It's here. It's part of me. Mm. It's a part of my life. Well, I have 3 cities in my heart in France. Mm-hmm. It's Saint-Étienne. Mm-hmm. It's the city where I grew up. Mm-hmm. And then Toulouse and Paris. Mm-hmm. So it's here. It's in my heart. It's somewhere in the world. But I think here is the new world. I think here is the land of the real land of opportunities. I think here, South America is the new continent. Sometimes I think that Europe is going old and older and older and older. I think here, it's incredible. For me, Chile is amazing. Chilean people say something here is todo está en pañales. It's all in Pampers.
Diapers.
Pampers. Everything is in Pampers. Everything is about to grow. Everything is about to do.
Okay.
Here, I really feel that there are big things. And I think that's why a lot of musicians from all the world are coming here in Chile to play. Mm-hmm. Because they want to know Chile, the place where ends.
They want to get in on the kindergarten level.
Yes, I think.
Yeah.
I think they want to be here. This is a kind of kindergarten, yes. And with a lot of things. I understand people from Chile tell me, well, what are you doing here? You can be in France. Okay, everyone can have his experience.
Yeah.
But I think that Chile is the place to be now. South America, because I like Argentina. I travel. Mm-hmm. I try to travel when I can.
Yeah.
And that is the point.
So then would you say then that quite a lot of people are kind of coming back to Chile to take advantage of the new developments that are happening?
I think yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a phenomenon that is growing up. Mm. And I understand Chilean people that had never go out, that they want to go out. Okay, travel. You can travel all around the world. I had this chance, this opportunity, because I have been traveling all my life. And I'm still traveling now, and I'm going to travel more. But I like this place. I think here there's a lot of things to do. And even you all know that it's a beautiful country.
Mm-hmm. When did you come back to Chile?
3 years ago.
Excuse me, yeah. And so have you seen lots of development rather than moving away from the music, just in the place itself?
Yes, I think there's a lot of changes. Yes, people. I think it's all growing up. It's like it's a feeling. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm right, but I like to be here. For me, this is I think I am like that. Wherever I am, I think this is the center of the world.
Wherever you lay your hat.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
And do you like South American music? Like, do you get your inspiration from South American music?
Yes, of course. Well, I grew up with the South American music,
like
with the Chilean music, with the Quilapayún, with Víctor Jara, and I think that's what Chilean musicians have to think about. They don't have to forget what Víctor Jara or Violeta Parra made. They were people that wanted to make known the roots of Chilean music. Mm-hmm. They made a big work in this area. Yeah. Violeta Parra, for example, she traveled a lot in all the country in the campaign.
She had an exposition in Paris.
Yes, she did.
Of her work. And just to clarify, you were born here and then moved to France, and then you've come back. So your cultural background is Chilean.
Yes, I have, and also Argentinian culture, because I grew up my kidness, mon enfance, my childhood. It was in Argentina, in Bahía Blanca. So I remember.
Okay, great.
It's a mix.
Good. And Jaime, ¿cómo es la música en Punta Arenas? Porque es algo diferente que Santiago?
Sí, I'm asking.
So Punta Arenas is one of the southernmost cities in Chile, and it's the launching point for most boats for Antarctica. And I've just asked Jaime about the music scene in Punta Arenas in difference to Santiago, which I think Santiago is home to 1/3 of the population of Chile. So it's kind of a loaded question, but I am curious. So, por favor.
Mira, yo no he vivido mucho en Punta Arenas, nací ahí y he vivido sumando unos 10 años. O sea, y siempre voy para el periodo de vacaciones y ahí tengo mi familia. Hay una parte de música como folclórica que tiene que ver, creo yo, con la música chilota, de Chiloé. Y también se escucha harta música mexicana.
Really?
Sí. los charros y todas esas cosas.
¿En serio?
Sí, no sé por qué. No encuentro el punto de unión, pero...
¿En Punta Arenas?
Sí, en Punta Arenas.
Wow.
Y en Puerto Natales también. Sí, harto se escucha. O sea, la gente más adulta.
Ya.
Pero los jóvenes escuchan de todo. Creo que tienen una buena cultura.
It's a great place to yodel.
¿Cómo?
¿Cómo se dice
I don't know
eso?
how to translate that.
Es el campo, es un buen lugar para...
Sí, puede ser por eso.
Wait, espera. Try to...
What days?
To yodel? Yeah, to translate.
Well, he hasn't lived that much in Punta Arenas, like 10 years maybe. But he said that they listen to a lot of, folklore music and also Mexican music, like rancheras, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's more like older people. Younger people listen to regular music that everyone listens to.
Hay grupos de música electrónica que he escuchado, música
Lluvia ácida.
Heavy metal también. Sí, lluvia ácida, sí. Hay otro grupo que se llama Hielo Negro, que es un grupo bien famoso, según lo que sé, en Europa tienen hartas giras. Son de Punta Arenas y acá no se conoce mucho, creo, en Santiago.
So there are like electronic bands and heavy metal bands. And there's a very well-known band called Hielo
Negro.
Negro.
Black Ice.
Black
Ice. Coming from Punta Arenas.
Sí. Y bueno, los músicos que hay allá tienen harta cultura, escuchan mucha música, rock progresivo, música clásica también he escuchado algunos. Pero son bien... se adentran harto en la música, o sea, como investigan harto.
Okay. So musicians there are very educated. They study classical music and progressive rock and other kind of stuff.
Cool. Okay. We've got a little bit of time left. Can we get a few more songs to round up this lovely
I'm
chat?
going to make another Gainsbourg song from 1967. We want to make it because I think Gainsbourg is one of the most ¿cómo se dice? Visionario. ¿Cómo se dice visionario?
Visionary. Gainsbourg was one of the most visionary.
Yes, visionary. So we are going to make this song from 1967.
Okay.
And it's Requiem pour un con.
Okay.
It's like Requiem
Requiem,
for
same in
an
English.
asshole. In Chilean it can be Requiem para un hueón. This is what we are going to do. And listen, it's particular because it's from 1967.
Yeah.
And I think it's very, very visionary song.
Can you give us the little nutshell story of what the song is about before you
The
sing it?
song is
Just a little
dedicated to a policeman that make him have a very bad moment. I don't know why, I don't know when, but I understand that he composed this song, and that's what the word says. I composed this for your memory, you
Requiem for an asshole.
rascal.
Okay.
Okay.
That's great. Okay.
Spécialement pour toi, à ta mémoire de scélérat. Écoute les orgues, elles jouent pour toi. Il est terrible, cet air-là. Je l'ai composé spécialement pour toi, à ta mémoire de scélérat. Écoute les orgues, elles jouent encore une fois à ta mémoire de scélérat. Je l'ai composé spécialement pour toi, c'est bon nom à ta mémoire de scélérat. Requiem, 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 requiem. C'est le requiem pour un con, c'est le requiem pour un con, c'est le requiem. Pauvre con.
We will be in Bellavista, in the patio Bellavista, in a bistro jazz club, the Friday, the 18th of this month, December,
Okay.
at 10 at night, of course. At night. El Bistro Jazz Club de Bellavista,
Great.
con el show Zelig à la French, o Zelig à la French, with Jaime a la guitarra, me, Tito, singing, and the contrabajo, Marcelo Rosell. So we wait for you.
Okay.
Try to call because it's there's a lot of people that want to be here.
Yeah, so you have to reserve.
Sounds very fun.
Yes, so
Great.
we're gonna have fun. So we're waiting for you.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for
You're
having
very welcome. Thank
us
you for
here.
coming in today. Are there any
you.
more
Thank you,
questions
Sean.
that anyone has? Or, yeah.
I had one more.
And then,
Yes.
okay, and then you
Um,
guys can, yeah.
More of a personal, philosophical question. Just Tito, you look a lot like an English writer called Danny Wallace.
Yes.
He's a guy. He wrote a book called Yes Man.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. They made it into a movie with Jim Carrey.
Carrey.
I'm not sure if the movie was any good, but the book was fantastic.
Yes. Well.
Anyway, the book was all about this guy Danny Wallace who, instead of saying no, decided to say yes to everything. Until, I don't know, I think it was for a year. He had to say yes for a year. What do you think about that as a philosophy for life?
I really enjoy philosophy. I read
Nice.
every day. Every day I read some philosophy. For me, it's very important. So I didn't know Wallace. I'm going to check this. I'm going to read it because for me, to make philosophy, it's essential in my life. Some people say you're not going to eat with that, but I don't think about that. Think about being a philosopher, thinking by yourself. It's important. I think this is a good idea, saying yes every time. So
All right.
Cool.
I say yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
Will you say yes to one more song?
Yes.
And
Que se inspire Jaime. Yo voy a
absolutely.
seguir.
Thank you very much. And I just want to thank our listeners for tuning in to The Bullet, Revista Revolver podcast. You can hear us weekly. We're going to have a new group in each week as planned. Chilean artists that have caught our ear and our eye. And we look forward to hearing feedback. I think there's a comment section connected to the podcast, if not on the website, but I will have to double check my information. All right, here we go.
Okay, we're
Thank
going
you,
to make
Tito.
a-
Thank you, Jaime.
Gracias.
And thank you for coming.
Muchas gracias.
All right.
Que le vaya muy bien al programa.
Sí.
Suerte, suerte, suerte. Mierda,
ustedes
mierda,
también.
mierda. A ustedes también. Vamos a ir, we're going to talk about friendship.
Yeah.
with Georges Brassens, great musician of France, with Au bois de mon cœur. Au bois de mon cœur, it means in the wood of my heart.
The forest of your heart.
The forest of my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. So.
Au bois de mon cœur, il y a des petites fleurs, il y a des petites fleurs, il y a des copains. Au bois de mon cœur, au bois de mon cœur. Au fond de ma cour, je suis renommé. Au fond de ma cour, je suis renommé. Pour avoir le cœur mal famé, le cœur mal famé. Au bois de Meudon, il y a des petites fleurs, il y a des petites fleurs, il y a des copains. Au bois de mon cœur, au bois de mon cœur. Quand il y a plus de vin dans mon tonneau, quand il y a plus de vin dans mon tonneau, ils n'ont pas peur de boire mon eau, de boire mon eau. Bois de Meudon, il y a des petites fleurs, il y a des petites fleurs, il y a des copains. Au bois de mon cœur, au bois de mon cœur. Il s'accompagne à la mairie, il m'accompagne à la mairie. Chaque fois que je me marie, au bois de Clamart, il y a des petites fleurs, il y a des petites fleurs, il y a des copains. Au bois de mon cœur, au bois de mon cœur. Ils suivront mon enterrement, ils suivront mon enterrement. Chaque fois que je meurs fidèlement, je meurs. Il y a des petites fleurs, il y a des petites fleurs, il y a des copains. Au bois de mon cœur, au bois de mon cœur.
Gracias, Jaime. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that's it from this podcast of The Bullet with Revista Revolver. We'd like you guys to tune in. Each week we're going to have a new Chilean band here. We might have some surprises as well. We also might have artists. We might have writers. We might have theater. We might have opera. We don't have trained monkeys. But tune in to find out. Bye, everybody.